Good evening, ma'am.
Oh, that was really cool. So, the capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, and willingness to learn is a choice. A pleasant evening to everyone. It is indeed a great pleasure seeing you all healthy and fit. Coming back to school after a long break is a time of excitement for all, especially after COVID. So, with an enthusiastic start, we begin our new journey of education after a really long loophole of COVID 19, which affected all of us, but we all have healed through those dark times. I am Manisha Koppal, an educator in CPS Khatlodia. So today with me, I have a wonderful team of students, Pranjal, Priyank, and Anushka. They are here to share their experiences, lifestyle during pandemic, the challenges faced during the last 2 years, online education, and how they were lucky enough to come over those obstacles.
Welcome back again. Well, finally, we are all set to get back to our regular phase of life and the original mode of education. Finally, after almost 2 years, we are trying to get our trains back on the track.
Very true. Adopting this new normal was a tricky challenge, but we all have made through this with a better versions of ourselves.
Getting our lives back on the track hit different. Even getting back to the normal system of education does, isn't it?
Totally, Priyank, but we are all set for it. Ma'am, we would love if you could share your views too.
Yeah, definitely, Pranjal. I would love to. COVID 19 has affected the learning cycle worldwide and led to almost total closure of schools. However, online education came as a rescuer and the learning process started. For me personally, it was an uphill task as I have to learn so many things, starting from learning the operation of apps and getting adjusted to that intermittent environment. So, hiatus of 2 years, however, taught us many things to become self reliant and be always grateful. Students were naughty and sometimes even took disadvantage of online learning. So they just wanted to come back to school, have fun with their friends, and have a good time with their teachers. As a teacher, I too was hoping that it would be normal very soon and can enjoy teaching students physically rather than virtually.
We truly agree with you, ma'am. Between these 2 years, we're kind of like trapped in our own comfort shells, but now it's time to break it and bounce back.
Yes, that's really true, Anushka. So, Pranjal, how do you feel about being normal again?
Well, talking about being normal again, all of us were really excited and happy to finally return to school, meet our friends, make some new ones, and overcome challenges with a lot more fun. Even some might have felt unhappy because no more lifesaver Google, no more binge watching during online classes, and no more taken for granted attitude.
Absolutely. You know, the Google was the helper of the students, and sometimes it was headache for me as well. I wondered many times when I got answers of difficult word meanings within no time from the students. So the gap made by these 2 years is huge. It's time to fill it with discipline, guidance, caring, and love. Offline education gave a sigh of relief to many students and parents as some were really not happy with online mode of learning and also some were unable to utilize this facility due to unavailability of the devices. I wanted to tell one incident. So when we declared that exams are going to be offline, I got a call from one parent. She was very worried and she was telling me the moment she read the message she was shivering, and she was like, ma'am, how my daughter is going to write the paper because there is a gap of 2 years. And I said, okay, let me, make yourself very calm. And I know that your daughter will do it. So when the exam started, I went to her and I was really happy. She was so confident and she was very good in writing the exam as well. So, students overcame that time and that gap and made themselves very positive and they gave the exam in a very effective way.
Well, we all need to agree on this point. We all remember the time when we used to just make an excuse on network to not answer a question, just bunk off lectures. and roam in the house, sleep and study. In short, just have fun and just chill.
Okay, so these 2 years were just for having fun and chilling, right, Priyank?
Yes, ma'am.
So talking about online education, it has opened many possibilities for people to further expand their notion of education from digital to cooperation. However, the importance of face-to-face contact during learning has been underestimated in light of these innovations. What do you say, Pranjal?
For sure, ma'am. Offline mode creates, a better environment and a friendly environment to study, along with a suitable space for discussion. We get to interact with a lot of people and share interests along with opinions. Advantages of offline classes in the school campus include a lot more things, like small kids cannot really cope up with the online education method. Students learn to maintain discipline, regular completion of academic work, which wasn't possible due to this online mode, learning of various skills, no more gadget addiction, which is the major thing that we go through, better student teacher interaction. We also save resources and no more disturbance.
After so long, we can finally get back to the regular mode of learning in a more fun way. And I bet we all miss those friendly fights, debates with classmates, roaming in the corridors, opening lunchbox during lectures, and many more fun things.
Yeah, Anushka, I agree that. And Pranjal said one very good thing, that was small kids were not able to cope up with this online education. Small kids need that, what do you call that, touch from the teacher. So school is, second home for them. So offline education and online education, this is the difference. In online education, yes, you can see your teacher face to face, but in offline, you can go talk, right? You have that personal attention, you have good rapport with your teachers. So coming to a very common question, which is the most suitable mode of education, online or offline? What do you say, Pranjal?
Well, ma'am, that's a really complicated question because everything has its own pros and cons list.
Yeah.
Well, talking about offline learning, it is a more better, according to me, because we get to interact well, solve queries on point, participate in discussions, and do lots of fun activities, which is, in short, it is really interesting. But with online, we couldn't manage all these things really well because of barrier between communication and physical touch. Even grasping things got a little too tough because of online mode, as there was a lot of network issues, miscommunication, and lack of attention. It was also a phase where everybody suffered a lot in terms of education due to this drastic change. Our grades were badly affected, our grasping power reduced, writing skills worsened. But now we need to break these barriers and be back in the game.
We all did have a great time during our online lectures. Like we did ever imagine that we could just simply sit at home and study being all relaxed. Well, it even had a lot of us. We all had our best friend Google. Isn't that true? But it didn't last long. All was going smoothly until the school finally started. I bet at first, we all were disappointed. But then I actually went to school. It was just so newly amazing, right? Absolutely.
So I can hear that pain in the voice of the Priyank, so shifting from online to offline, right? It was going smoothly during the online classes. Yes, you could have just said, if ma'am is asking you any question, you have that savior answer. Ma'am, network issue, we can't hear you, right? And if there was a helper all the time, Google. If any question is asked to you, if you don't know the meaning, but you have the Google, you used to use that, right, Priyank?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, right. So, Anushka, how did this adversely affect the students? Online education, you are getting, or, using the gadget for longer time, screening time was huge. So, how it affected the students?
So, ma'am, at first we thought it was kind of like fun experience to study online because it was totally new. Um, and we took everything really lightly, but we realized it wasn't a lot easy at first. We weren't techie at all, and we used to get diverted easily because all the freedom was in our hands. Our marks also affected a lot. We started taking things for granted and lived our freedom. It also caused a sense of isolation. Online classes are mostly prone to um, network issues and technical problems, And it also means more screen timing. It also made it easy for us to procrastinate things and lack of motivation.
Ma'am, but if we look up close, online education has been a lot beneficial to us. By using tech in India, which is internet, we could easily get study materials, save notes, the clear doubts online by viewing different videos. Even school got benefit because they can share information to students by online media.
That's true.
Well, truly, Priyank, we also had a lot of benefits because we also had a lot of opportunities for different online competitions. COVID-19 couldn't be a barrier over here. Our communication skills improved. We also had to face the new online medium, which we successfully did and overcome. Even interaction was a lot easier because of long distance. The online mode helped us a lot. And as we're doing this FB Live right now, it's really helpful, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Well, even after the change to online offline learning, we are still utilizing the online medium to share info, work on school publicity for its creative. Communication got easier even for teachers as they could directly share a message in the group and rest all could simply view.
Okay, that is totally true. Like online has its own, what do you say, advantages as well as disadvantages. Even when we, 2 years back, we were not knowing about it, right? So I hope you remember the chapter which you studied in ninth standard, the fun they had. You can easily relate that. Yes. So yeah, so in a nutshell, what we can conclude that offline classes, students are fully attentive towards class only. So teachers can provide individual attention to the students, address their issues and solve it quickly. Whereas in online classes, uh, actually, I told you it has advantages as well. So we had the flexibility in learning, but perhaps online education makes students introverted. But what is the use or what is the most advantage of this offline education is it give impetus to communication skills. I think Pranjal is smiling and wanted to share something with us. Yes, Pranjal, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So 2 days back, we had a farewell party for grade 10 students in the school, and the school premise was filled with laughter, emotions, and gratitude. Some students shared that they badly missed school, the teachers, their friends, so bad, and also during this online classes because they could not simply interact a lot.
Yes, that is true.
And my Maya listened from the 10th student that they said they want to repeat that 2 year because they can meet their friends, teachers, and they want to communicate with everyone.
Totally, totally agreed.
That's totally right, Priyank. If I had a time machine, I could have definitely would reset it and go back to those old school days and repeat everything again.
Yeah, right. So Anushka said that if she had a time machine, she could have gone back and would have reset the time. So many of us, we really agree. If we had a magic wand or we had a time machine, we could have used it and we could have erased these 2 years. Yes, because the students who are in 10th grade, they missed that part. So they just wanted to reset it and enjoy it. That is totally true. Actually, so this is the new beginning. That is why what is our session, what it is conveying. So back to school, why? Because it is time to rise. So here back to school again, a good beginning makes a big difference. So always keep your beginning focused. So we all should remember that the importance of we have to follow the protocols and the precautions to be taken because still the coronavirus is there in all part of the world. So wear masks, use sanitizers, eat healthy food, and do exercise. The soul of the school is its students, and now they are back to school, and this has filled the air with their intelligence, sincerity, naughtiness, and positivity. Thank you, dear Pranjal, Anushka, and Priyank, for sharing your wonderful thoughts and feelings. So let's hope for a better world. May you all make the best of this coming year with your hard work and patience. Thank you.